Некоторые там, не согласны были.
Some did not agree why they were brought here to the first front line just to be cannon fodder here. In general, they are immediately thrown with mines, and 17 people, as far as I remember, went on the run. They caught one of them because he lost orientation. Then these veterans, who were not volunteers like us, but contractors, one of them, his call sign is Tayan, decided to make a joke and started shooting near the convict. And that convict, that volunteer, he twitched somehow and he was shot in the throat. Then they just put the corpse in a bag as if he was killed in action. It's inhuman, because as all of them said, he was a combat unit brought here for reinforcement. It is unfair to zero these people out here.
And was the shooter somehow punished?
No, he continued to go there on the positions at Yar.
He shot a person, and that means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all with impunity. He also behaved blazingly, insolently with everyone. I voluntarily consent to be filmed. I am Matvei Ainyaurgin, born on October 4th, 1984, a native of Magadan region, Anadyrsky district, village of Vayegi. I was sent to the position of rotor, that is the first front line, so I also had some disagreements with the commander. I asked why I was sent there, because I was told that I would reinforce the positions, dig the dugouts and fortify everything. He asked why I was not following the orders and just said to go ahead because you know what can happen if you don't follow orders. They can zero you out, they can shoot you in the leg or something else.
Have you seen something like this?
Yes, I was shot by the one commander, the same red hat, when I was running away. There were threats, insults, everything. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I said, "What do you want?" He said that he would shoot me in the leg, in the knee. I said, "Okay," and turned around and ran. At that time I felt a pain in my buttock, and then the bullet came through here and I fell down. I didn't realize at first what it was, but it turned out to be him shooting. That's it, I ran away, even the assault started at the same time, and veterans also told me that there were often such cases when they nullified each other. Some were simply thrown into the pit as punishment, not fed, kept in the pit for 2 days. Some were simply stripped of their body armor and helmets and sent to the front line. There were cases when one of them was simply sent to a minefield. That's treason, it's not human. They treat us not like people. It also happens there with some mobilized people. The commanders themselves are arrogant. They say, "What about these kashliks? We used to have a project, and that's why they call us kashliks." They said not to treat us in any special way at all, or we were thrown in the pit, or just zero us out, or shoot us in the knee. They intimidated us by that all the time.
Why do you think they treated you like that?
Well, because we're convicts, and most of them, those who are contractors, they were more worried about their lives. They are generally far away, somewhere there next to the equipment, the ammo, all this stuff. There are none of them in the places of collision. They take advantage of the possibility to send someone else. On the night of the 4th, there were 20 people with me. On the same day, there was mortar fire. They were immediately killed. The next day, the same happened with 30 other guys. We have 7 people left alive out of 70. There were contractors. They came, then they ran away. When the clashes started, or MTLB APC came and shelled us, or there was shelling from a tank, they left immediately.
Why did they run away?
Because they are cowards, because there is cannon fodder prisoners.
Who do you think is guilty?
The Ministry of Defense and the government. Why? In general, it was really possible to reach an agreement. There is nothing to divide, as we see. You have a normal country, all these fields are ennobled, there are no territories to divide. What is the point? If people want to live like this, let them live. It was possible to avoid all this war, all kind of clashes. Someone is just showing his own self or something, maybe sovereignty at the cost of others' lives. I don't understand his logic at all. For all the prisoners, he is an asshole because he is an FSB officer, and we have nothing to do with FSB officers at all. How many camps have been taken away already? He said that he would exterminate us. The whole idea of being thieves, that we wouldn't live here under his rule. That's what he said.
What else is said in prison about him?
Ну, большая часть вообще ему не верит.
Most people in prison don't believe him. Nobody believes him at all. No one sees these benefits that we, the Chukchi, the small-numbered peoples, are entitled to. Putin and his leadership are adjusting everything to suit themselves.
Why do you think you are the second or the third class?
Ну, потому что я никто.
Because I'm nothing to them, they're so much higher than me, and I'm a convict, and my nationality, I've heard a lot of things in my life, and I don't pay attention anymore. Chukchi, Donbass, all kinds of stuff, of course, it's there.
Is it normal in Russia?
Там уже
No one even pays attention to that.
So it has become common. Everyone turns a deaf ear.
Хотя сам говорит, многонациональная страна, ну, Путин, все такое.
Although Putin himself says it is a multinational country, it started in the 30s when the Chukchi also had constant conflicts with the Russians. When we had not yet joined Russia, the USSR, for 300 years we were at war with these Russians. Then they started buying all this fur and spoiling us with vodka. Why is it? A fool, an alcoholic, shares his woman. Where did you ever see me sharing my woman with a passerby? That's the kind of shit they say. That's where it came from, that the people of Chukchi is insane and all that. There are a lot of different nationalities, yes, it hurts too. They always emphasize that we are the Chukchi. I don't even pay attention, I've just heard enough to not dwell on it.
Do you consider yourself a Russian?
Русским? Нет.
Russian? No, I have my own nationality, traditions, mindset. I was born next to the reindeer pasture, and it was very good there for me. It doesn't matter if you are Russian or not, nothing changed with their support, and we didn't need it. I respect my traditions.
Я уважаю свои традиции.
Who do you know of your national writers?
Рытхейл Юрий. Потом... Как?
Yuri, Rudkyu, Tamara Khai are old writers. There are a lot of them. Generally, I read Yuri Rudkyu because he has such a big collection.
Вот.
And from Russian?
Ну, кто? Вот эти Пушкин, Толстой.
Well, there are Pushkin, Tolstoy, Gogol. Gogol was not Russian, was he? Well, he's from Ukraine, right? Because his grandmother died, I know all this. Turgenev. There are a lot of writers, especially nowadays.
Don't you think you know more Russian writers than your national ones?
Ну, что, в этой российской школе я же обучался больше.
I studied more at the Russian school, because at our school we were taught both Russian and my native language, Chukchi.
Обучали.
Do you know it?
Чукотский?
Chukchi?
Да.
Yes.
Некоторые слова я уже...
Well, I've already forgotten some of the words, because I have not talked to someone who knows Chukchi all the time. Well, for example, when I talk, I start to remember everything.
You can forget it.
Да, вообще можно
Yes,
забыть.
it is possible to forget it, some words.
So you forget your native language.
Ну, я бы сказал...
I want to say, if you have any acquaintances or friends or any of your relatives decided to go to the special military operation, it is better not to do it. Because where they are going, there will be nothing good. There is only death there. There are no weapons there. What the Ministry of Defense will promise you is that everything will be fine, you will be equipped with everything, but you will not be. You will not even see the body armor that we are supposed to have when you leave. You will not see such things. Despite what the Ministry of Defense says, it treats the mobilized people or volunteers just as non-humans. They send them to death. That's what I saw, just a pile of corpses, that's all. And the kid lived just a few days ago, 18 years old, and he went.
А пацан вот жил только недавно, 18 лет, и пошел.